Hey everyone, welcome to Adventures in Everyday Cooking, where every day can be an adventure in your kitchen. My name is Heather, and today is a game day treat. Now, oftentimes we go to game day celebrations and people are like, well, what can you bring? And you're like, well, I don't know, what do you want me to bring? I don't know, what do you want me to bring? So this is to solve that what do you want to bring thing, because this is so cost effective, so beautiful, and so very delicious. What am I talking about? I am talking about a tear and share sourdough cheese loaf. Now, before you stop the video there, I'm not asking you to make your own sourdough bread, but you can if you're into that. This one though, I'm just gonna buy sourdough from the store. I'm gonna show you how to throw it together, and literally it's thrown together. This intro probably is longer than it takes to throw it together. Well, that's not exactly true. You have to, anyway, it's very fast, very fast. But you'll see how quick, easy, and delicious this is. I am so sorry that you cannot taste it because it's gonna be so good. So are you ready for this adventure? But before we go to the adventure, I wanna know who you're rooting for in the big game. Who do you think is gonna win? I know who is not going to win. Oh well, there's always next year, right? Leave me a comment below and tell me who you think is going to win. Those of you who aren't sports ball people, you can just watch and enjoy and use this for your next get together when maybe you're going with your quilters or your mom's group or wherever. This is a recipe that isn't just for game day, it's for every day. I mean, like, it is for every day. You'll see, it's so good. It's so good. All right, let's go. All right, so this recipe is super easy. You need a loaf of sourdough bread. Now, if you are a sourdough baker, definitely make your own. I have not been making sourdough for a few weeks now, so I had to buy mine this time, but you can usually find them at your grocery store for pretty cheap. This one was $2.88 at Winco. Thank you, Winco. Next, you're gonna need a seasoning of your choice. So as you see here, I have a whole gamut of seasonings that you can use. You can also just use garlic or just some butter itself. Like, you don't have to season it, but seasonings just make it that much better. So definitely pick your favorite seasoning. Then we're going to need some cheese. Now, lots of these recipes that are floating around say a specific type of cheese. I've used several types of cheese, and you just use the one that you think is going to complement your seasoning the best. So if you're really into like fancy stuff, definitely go with one of the fancier cheeses. Today we're just going to use pepper jack. We also need a stick of butter that has been melted. So let's start on our loaf first. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to make slits in our loaf going horizontal, vertical. No, going one direction, and then we're going to make them going the other. So you could use a steak knife if you wanted. That way you didn't have to cut all the way through. But I don't know why I got a steak knife out. I own a bread knife. Use a bread knife if you have one. A bread knife will make your life so much happier. So what we're going to do is we're going to make, I'm just going to call it vertical cuts down the bread, almost to the bottom. So don't go all the way through, almost to the bottom of the bread. And we're gonna make them probably about 3/4 inch or an inch cubes kind of idea. So almost to the bottom. You see that? See how it's almost to the bottom there? And we're gonna do that all the way across the bread. And it's important you use a really sharp knife, otherwise you're gonna tear up that beautiful bread inside. You don't wanna do that. All right, so as you can see, the bread is all cut there. Now we're gonna just turn it 90 degrees. We're gonna make the same cuts going the opposite direction. So the bread opens up this way, and now we're gonna make the cuts going this way. This time it is very important that you don't cut any further than you've already cut, otherwise your bread will fall apart. So make sure your cuts this time are a little bit shallower. If you accidentally cut through in places, it's not going to be the end of the world, but then you're not going to get your beautiful look that you're looking for. I mean, I say that now, and then in 3 seconds, I'm going to cut through it and be all sad and make my husband run to the store for another loaf of bread. Probably not, but maybe. Okay, so we're just going to cut down about there. And definitely when you're cutting this direction, be much more gentle because these things are now cut like they'll wiggle all around. And if you're too harsh with your bread, you're just going to rip them all out and then you'll defeat the purpose of this beautiful appetizer. All right, so here we have it all done. Look at that. Can you see all of the beautiful, yeah. It's awesome. Now we're gonna need some foil. So I'm gonna go ahead and set my bread onto the foil, get rid of my cutting board and all of the sharp items because I may cut myself again. And we need a baking tray. So let's pick this up, put it right on the baking tray. And now is the time for me to decide what seasoning I want to use today. I think I'm going to use the Green Goddess seasoning today, only because I have yet to try it yet, and I think the ingredients sound amazing. This is a seasoning from Trader Joe's, and it has minced onion, salt, granulated garlic, ground black pepper, dried chives, green onion, spinach powder, lemon powder, parsley, and safflower oil. So I thought that would be a fun one to try in our bread. What I'm going to do is I am going to add 1 healthy tablespoon of this Green Goddess into my butter. And we're going to give that a little mixy mix. And then we're going to set that off to the side so that it can kind of marry together as we do the next step. And now comes the hardest part of the whole job. We are going to sprinkle cheese into all of the little holes. So we will probably start from the side here, and then I'm just going to sprinkle all the way over and try to get cheese into everywhere. So now when I say everywhere, I do mean everywhere. So probably what I'm going to do, sprinkle it this direction or push it. It's not really a sprinkle. And then turn it like 90 degrees and then stuff it into the other side as well. All right, check it out. Look at that crazy, amazing looking bread. Okay, our next step is to pour the buttery goodness all over the top, or you can brush it on with a pastry brush. I'm going to brush it on with a pastry brush, but definitely you can just pour it on. Just be real careful when you pour because you don't want all of it right here and none of it right there. So I'm going to take my Green Goddess butter and I'm just going to start painting everything with it. Once you are confident that everything has seen some herbed butter, now it's time to wrap this thing. So what we're going to do is we are going to wrap this back up into a little package. I don't know why my voice just went up like that. I'm having too much fun. This is so much fun. Thank you for allowing me to have fun with you. All right, into the oven it's going to go, and I will see you back here in 15 minutes to unwrap. And we're gonna get it back in for another 10, but I want you to see it once it comes out the first time. Okay, we'll be back. Alrighty, it has been 15 minutes and now it is time for us to open the package and let it cook another 10 minutes, completely open to the elements. The heating elements, I mean. Look at that slice of heaven already. Is that not the greatest thing? Okay, back into the oven for 10 more minutes. I'll be back. Wa-da-da! Look at this amazing, amazing bread. Look at this. Let's see if we can unearth it. Oh. Let's see if we can eat it, actually. Oh my gosh. That green goddess is really good. Move over, bloomin' onion. We got the bloomin' sourdough. Now, I'm gonna grab a pair of tongs. And if you were bringing this somewhere, obviously you would leave it in the foil and get it to your destination of choice. But a pair of tongs will work just groovy. Stick the plate underneath it. And then go ahead and slide it right on. Wow. Look at all of that cheesy goodness. Yum. Now, as an appetizer, depending on what flavors you used, you can totally serve this with a dip. You could actually core out this middle bit. So let's just core it out by eating it. Hold on. We'll just eat it with the dip. Oh man, that's so good. It's like a party in my mouth. I don't know how many pieces I want to eat. All of them. Oh man, that's good. Anyway, you could serve it like so. Oh, that's so good. Everything about this appetizer screams game day. It's so buttery and cheesy and crispy and delicious. All right, you guys, well, if you enjoyed that video, give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. I have another game day video coming for you. Just you wait. This one is also guaranteed to make you go, huh. I'm excited about that one. So I hope you'll join me in just a couple days for the next game day treat. Until next time, we will see you on the next adventure. Bye. All of it is so good. That is so good.